I want to thank everybody for coming tonight and sharing. It's a good meeting for me. I know for me, I struggled for 9 years. I didn't want to be an alcoholic. It wasn't fair. It wasn't fair that everybody else could drink and I couldn't. So I tried to prove everybody wrong for 9 years. Prison was a yet, all kinds of yets. I finally came back, not because I wanted to, but I had nowhere else to go and I was tired of fighting. I just surrendered, that I gave up. I think for a long time, one of the things I didn't realize, for a long time, it was more than just the drinking. See, I'd quit drinking for 6 months or a year or whatever, and then I'd still be miserable. And I didn't understand why. And I always say, if I'm going to be miserable, I might as well be drunk or stoned, whatever. It made no sense to be miserable and sober. But then finally I got a sponsor, and Gary remembers him. His name was Jerry A. And he'd pound his cane on the floor, and he made me for a year qualify myself by saying, my name's Paulie and I'm an I suffer from alcoholism, not alcoholism, and this disease will kill me. Because I didn't believe it was going to kill me. I'd been in prison, I'd been institutionalized, all those things, always found my way out, always ended up in my mind in a positive area. But after, saying that, realizing it, getting real, Jerry made me get real, really look at this. This was going to kill me. If I wasn't going to stop, I was going to die. It's not a game. This was life or death for me. And I finally surrendered to the program. I finally started listening to people and started doing stuff. Mostly because the honest truth is I got tired of fighting. There's a line, my favorite line on page 25 is, there is a solution. It says nobody likes the soul searching, the leveling of the pride, and the admittance of faults that is necessary for the successful consummation of this process. But when we had seen how it worked in others, and we had come to believe in the futility and the hopelessness of life and the way we had been living it, that was the big key. That was the big key. I had to realize that the way I was living was hopeless and futile. And until I accepted that and came to that belief, all these people trying to help me get to the program, all these people taking me to meetings, all that didn't matter. In the back of my head, if I still believed that I had the answer, that somehow I was going to figure it out. But then I finally realized that it was hopeless and futile. It was, that I was going to die and I did not have the answers. And once I was able to come to that situation, that conclusion of the mind, then I was able to start working the program. And even today, they talk about acceptance. I've been fortunate enough to be sober for quite a few years. There's still times I don't accept it. There's times all of a sudden they got these hard ciders. They didn't have hard ciders when I drank. They have all these things. And the commercial will come on. I go, that would taste great. I would love to drink that. But I can't. I have to play that tape through. Because somebody mentioned it about how they live their life, that when they think of doing something, they always assume alcohol. And that was me. It would just consume me. Before I knew what was going on, everything I planned, everything I did in life, from the moment I woke up, when I was going to go do something, the checklist was alcohol and drugs first, food, whatever, later. If I had enough money, whatever. It didn't matter. First was the alcohol. And if there wasn't going to be alcohol there, or there wasn't going to be enough alcohol there, I'm not going. It just didn't make sense. I didn't understand why. Why would you? And that is the difference between, I think, for me, now I understand that's the difference between alcoholic thinking and regular thinking. There's this thing called alcoholism, right? That is the real problem. It's that incredibly short memory. It's that I, self, and me. And that's why we had this book. And I don't know if the newcomers, if you guys got a big book. If you don't, please take one. We have a big book here. This is the blueprint that I had to surrender to live my life. This lays it all out. This tells me how to handle life, what to do. I was also taught from a gentleman that's sitting here that has a lot more sobriety than me, that I have a daily reprieve. Even after all these years, I have a daily reprieve based on my spiritual conditioning. And the simplest form of spirituality is my willingness to ask for help. That's it. I have a chance today if I'm willing to ask for help. If I stop asking for help, it doesn't matter how much time I have. Doesn't matter how many meetings I go to, how many people I sponsor, how many times I've read or listened to that big book on audio. None of that matters if I'm not willing to ask for help. Because I still don't have all the answers. I still suffer from that incredibly short memory. I suffer from I, self, and me to this day. And it doesn't matter whether I have alcohol in my system, drugs in my system, or anything. I'm still sick. It is what it is. And I can fight, cry, crash, stomp my feet. It ain't going to change a thing. So I might as well just accept it for today and take my medicine, which is meetings in the big book, and pick up the phone, help another person. And guess what? Life gets better. It gets better. I don't have to run from the cops today. I don't have to hide out. There's no warrants for me today. I can walk down the street and be proud of who I am and the people I meet and those kind of things, So, and eventually you get the material things back. You get the family back. You get all that stuff back. And I really will finish with this. For me, it's not what I've gotten out of Alcoholics Anonymous. It's about who I'm becoming. Because when I become the right person, I do the right things, and then the right things happen. The good orderly direction. God, whatever it does for me, what I can't do for myself. I'm grateful you people are here because I need you people. I couldn't do this by myself. And I want to thank everybody and wish you another 24. And if you don't have a big book, please. Or if you need some phone numbers, please get it before you leave. Thanks.